Hi, guys. This is the one and only time I am going to address what happened on January 6th. Now, I think the death toll is now up to 5. Last night it was 4, so someone probably died during the night from the injuries. Uh, the reason why this is the one and only time I'm going to address it uh, is because Trump is a narcissist. And this feeds his ego. People talking about him feeds his ego. It doesn't have to be positive, it can be negative, but it still feeds his ego. So, enough said about that. Um, Mike Pence, you need to do the right thing and invoke the 25th Amendment. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, the 25th Amendment um, gives the cabinet the right to uh, remove a president unfit for office, which he obviously is. He's been unfit since the very beginning. We've been screaming this from the rooftops, and it took 5 people dying for people to finally hear us. And, you know, anyway, so there are 3 avenues. One is he can resign. He's not going to because he's a narcissist. And he's power hungry also. The second option is for Pence and the cabinet to remove him, but Pence has to invoke the 25th Amendment. It can't be the cabinet. Pence has to do it. And the third route, which they have already started, is impeachment. The House has already drawn up articles of impeachment. Um, some people may say, well, he only has 12 more days. What can he do in that time? The guy's a lunatic. He can do a lot of damage in 12 days. So, Mike Pence, get off your ass, do something to help your country, and invoke the 25th Amendment that will let the cabinet remove him from power. Um, let's see. Hey, brain bug. Um, I don't want to play blame the victim here. Hey, pasta babe. But that woman that got shot inside the Capitol, she was not a victim. She was an insurrectionist, and her blood is on her own hands and on Trump's hands and on all Trump enablers. That means you, Ted Cruz, and everybody else who enabled him. This is what happens when we let lies stand. This is what happens. Yeah, Floof, it was. It definitely was. So, I have read some things from other current and former world leaders. They're about what you'd expect. Our allies are like, we know America's going to get over this, and our enemies, while the heads of state of our enemies did not we're not nasty about it. I mean, they were not nasty about it, but on the other hand, they didn't do what our allies did, which is, we're with you. It is free, very, and I don't know how many of you were here to begin with, but we need Mike Pence. Mike Trump. I got Trump on the brain, people. Mike Pence needs to step up and do the right thing and invoke the 25th Amendment. And I think if that happens, the cabinet will go ahead with it. Now, nobody, from what I gather, I am not a constitutional lawyer. I'm not even an armchair expert on the Constitution. But from what I gather, the cabinet cannot invoke the 25th Amendment, but it can act on the recommendation of Mike Pence once Mike Pence puts forward the 25th Amendment. And Mike Pence, if you are decent, and I believe you are because you did the constitutional thing by declaring Biden the next president of the United States. So you at least have some decency in you. If you are a decent human being, you will invoke the 25th Amendment. You will get the cabinet to remove him from power, and you will serve out the rest of his term. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Free Spirit, he's going to jail. New York's going to put him in jail. Now, the way impeachment goes, the third option is impeachment. So he resigns. He's not going to do that. Pence calls upon the 25th Amendment. That's a maybe, but don't hold your breath. The third option is impeachment. Again, now, I do know a little bit more about impeachment. Um, the House has already drawn up the articles of impeachment, and the only thing on there is incitement to a riot. I don't know why it couldn't be treason, but apparently treason has a very strict definition in the legal sense. And so he cannot be charged with treason. I think he should. I think he absolutely should be. So, yeah, me too, Floof. I'm so happy I left Christianity too. So, anyway, getting back to impeachment. Um, the House of Representatives has to indict him. And like I said, they've already drawn up the articles. And so Mitch McConnell has said that the earliest he can act is January 19th. Well, that's bullshit, because he doesn't have to wait till January 19th. Now, the upside for Trump being convicted of the incitement to insurrection, the upside of that is, even though he will be out of office, there are one good thing is this is an addendum to the impeachment process. It's not in the impeachment itself. They would have to have a separate vote on this. But one of the provisions of impeachment is that he can never hold a federal office again. So that's like an addendum to the impeachment, but it's there. It has to be a separate vote, but it's there. So, hey, Robert. Yeah. We have been screaming at the top of our lungs for the last 4 years. It takes 5 people dying for somebody to do something about it. And let's not count the traitor that died in the Capitol, okay? Who gives a flying fuck about her? And no, I'm not even going to try to monetize this, because it's probably not going to get monetized, even if I try to monetize it. So, free spirit, not for his ardent supporters. You would think after this that all of his supporters, at least in politics, would back the impeachment. They don't. They just don't. Floof, you don't need some imaginary friend. So anyway, so the House has already drawn up the papers. Usually there is a debate about it on the House floor, but this is an emergency situation, so they have gone the expedited route. Um, there will be no debate. There will just be a vote, and then it goes to the Senate. Um, Now, even though he will be out of office after the 20th, and remember, Mitch McConnell said he's not going to act on it until the 19th. He says he can't act on it till the 19th. Well, like I said, that's bullshit because this is an expedited process. Um, Floof, gonna if it's gonna put you in any danger, don't do it until you know you're not in danger anymore. Um, the Senate will have the trial, and there are enough senators now because they talked with some senators who voted not to impeach him last time. And MSNBC has talked to some senators that voted not to impeach him last time. And this time they said they definitely will. So, you know, basically, Trump has shown his true colors. Well, most of us already knew what his true colors were. Like I said, we've been screaming about this for the last 4 years and nobody wanted to listen to us. So, you know, at any rate, so those are the three options we have at the moment. Uh, Option one, he doesn't give a flying fuck. He never. This is a pasta babe. Okay, there's a thing going on in the side chat. Floof wants to come out as bi, but they aren't certain this is the right time. So anyway, um, now getting on to it's the same topic, it's just another subject within the topic. I wanted to know why there were only 52 arrests made that day. And I wasn't the only one wondering it. One of the MSNBC anchors was wondering it too. So they had um, a an F, a former director of the FBI on, and so this former director of the FBI said, when something like that happens, we need all hands on deck. We can't have a police officer taken off to take one or two people to jail. We need all hands on deck. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, I'll cut him a break. I'll cut him a break for that. Um, there's been a lot of uh, selfies posted and this and that and the other. Um, now I lost my train of thought. Um, and they want to blame it on Antifa. Can you imagine that? I mean, you got MAGA hats galore, and they want to blame it on Antifa. The good thing is, if you can call it a good thing, is the FBI, there's tons of photos. I mean, just tons. These people were not careful. Um, so the FBI, it may take a while, but the FBI is going to make sure that these people pay for what they did. And Trump should be right along with them. Um, Now, for your information and hopefully relief, it is unconstitutional for the military to do anything in the USA in combat related. Um, there's the Army Corps of Engineers, which helps with, stuff like the dam after Katrina. They rebuilt the dam. Hey, Purple. Floof, they actually found two bombs in the Capitol. So this was not a, oh, we just got caught up in the moment type of thing. No. Now, I did notice that there were two types of people. Um, some people were very peaceful, and I'm here to say, leave them alone. Leave them alone. It's their constitutional right to have peaceful protests. Leave those dudes alone. Who needs to be held accountable is first Trump, then the enablers in both his White House and the Senate and the House of Representatives. Those people need to be brought to task. And then simultaneously, the FBI needs to round up all the people who took place in the storming of the Capitol. That is what you call insurrection. I would call it treason. But again, treason has a very specific legal definition. And legally, unfortunately, this does not count as treason. It does count as an insurrection. So that's where we are right now. Oh, deconverted. Uh, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram have permanently deleted him. And YouTube, you better ban him before he even gets on here. That's all I gotta say. You better ban him before he gets on here. So, at any rate, um, I I needed time to cool down. Um, the good news is, if there is any good news, um, if there is any good news, the good news is that most of the world realizes that this is not America. They realize that these were um, a bunch of fascist nutbags. And they were. They were a bunch of fascist nutbags. And they've swallowed the lies hook, line, and sinker. And I said it before, I'll say it again. This is what you get when lies go unchecked. Deconverted man, because he's trying to incite even more violence on his social media. That's why. Yes, purple. Well, Floof, I'm pretty sure they're going to do something about that. Um, I was wondering, first of all, everybody knew this was going to happen. Okay? Everybody knew. So why didn't you have Metro and or the FBI protecting the Capitol building? Everybody knew this was going to happen. Everybody knew it. Um, at any rate, I I don't know how we're going to deprogram these. A lot of a lot of the Republican Party have finally abandoned him. All right, no, we're jumping this ship. This is a sinking ship. We're jumping it. So I guess that's pretty good news. But um The nutbags are the ones that I'm worried about. Um, so at any rate, that's uh, so that is basically they are going to impeach him on Monday. It's a done deal. I mean, it might as well have happened already. It's a done deal. Um, Deconverted man. There is an addendum to the impeachment process. It's not within the impeachment process, but it's an addendum to it, which means they would need a separate vote. But the point of impeachment would be twofold. One, it would send a very strong message that we will not tolerate attacks on our democracy. And number two, the addendum is he can never, ever, ever hold federal office again. Now, that would have to be a separate vote. But like I said, it is an addendum to the impeachment process. And that vote can only happen under impeachment consideration. So that is the point, deconverted man. Um, we just got to ride out the last 12 days. I titled this live stream, Mike Pence, Do the Right Thing. The right thing for Mike Pence to do is invoke the 25th Amendment so that the cabinet can get his ass out of office. Pence would be president for the remainder of the lame duck session, and then a true leader can take over at that point, which would be Joe Biden. Um, Floof, there are a lot of suckers who believe this. Stop the steal. There was nothing stolen. Joe Biden won fair and square. But I think what's going to happen, and this is me just pontificating, I think what's going to happen is that the Capitol Police are going to be better armed and better trained. Because right now, the Capitol Police are more along the lines of a campus police force. They don't have the firepower to deal with that type of a situation. So that will I think that will change. Again, this is just pontification. And so I think the Capitol Police will be better armed and better trained. They did find 2 bombs in the Capitol building. So, like I said, this wasn't spur of the moment. So I'm pretty much, I think they're going to have, I think they're going to start having metal detectors at the Capitol. Well, Floof, they did put down the riot. We do have to give them that. And I'm not saying they did the right thing. They should have had paddy wagons down there and locked all those people up. Purple, apparently not the Capitol, because somebody got bombs in it, and then of course the guns, you know. So anyway, I usually don't get political on my channel, but on the 6th, I was afraid to go to sleep, guys. Honestly, I was. I was afraid to go to sleep in my own home. And that's something that should never, ever happen. Free, that was one of the that was well, 5 died, I think. It was 4 last night, 5 today, so somebody must have died during the night. I don't know whether they were all gunshots, but I know one Capitol policeman died. I don't know whether he was shot. I do know that one of the rioters was shot and killed, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody. Gonna put that out there right now. I do not feel one bit sorry for her because I used, she's not a victim. Let's just put it that way. She is not a victim. Who cares if she died? I know that sounds callous, but that's just the way it goes. You know, she's not a victim. She's the perpetrator. And she died. And I'm fine with that. Um, so yeah, they did evacuate Mr. Pence. Um, they probably took him to the emergency bunker, which, by the way, nobody knows where the emergency bunker is except the people who absolutely have to know. Um, I do know that they evacuated Mike Pence to the emergency bunker. That is funny, Imposter Babe. That is fucking hilarious. And please excuse my language. I have calmed down quite a bit, but I'm still kind of angry. And for anybody who says, and I say this unapologetically, anybody who says that those rioters were Americans is dead wrong. Those were not Americans. Floof. Probably to blame it on the police. That would be my guess. Hey, Randolph. Yes, they are terrorists, and they should be prosecuted as terrorists, including Trump. And so so yeah, now thankfully these idiots make up a very small portion of America. Unfortunately, uh, this is what you get when you ignore warnings. Um, let's hope the rest of 2021 goes better. You know, I figured they'd try something on January 20th, Inauguration Day. I did not think that they would try something on January 6th. Why did they do that? January 6th is nothing more than a formality. Um so yeah, I mean, I think given this situation, I think that the inauguration will be highly guarded, maybe even some Black Hawks overhead. Yes, it is a pasta babe. Correct, purple. But like I said, it was just a formality. By that time, there was nothing left to do. Nothing left to do. All it was certifying the votes. That's all. Randolph, uh, President elect Biden says he doesn't even want him there. And I agree. That's one of the last tweets President Trump sent out. And that was one of the tweets that finally made Twitter delete his account. And, you might say he just tweeted that he wasn't going to go to the inauguration. What's insightful about that? And it takes a security minded person to come up with this. Either that or a crazy person. And I'm neither, to tell you the truth. But somebody on MSNBC said, well, that was taken as a not necessarily an incitement to violence, but it was kind of like Trump saying to his supporters, yeah, I'm not going to be at the inauguration, so if you want to try something, nod, nod, wink, wink. But Mr. Trump, because you are not a fucking president, Mr. Trump, America will not ever bow to terrorists, foreign or domestic. You have behaved very, very shamefully. And I hope to God that New York locks your ass up for the rest of your goddamn fucking life. I'm sorry. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Uh, when they didn't, then this would happen again and again. What, Robert X? I haven't really been paying attention to the side chat, so if you could write in what you're talking about. Um, you have defiled your presidential oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. You are a blot on this country. And you should be put in prison, never to see the light of day again. Uh, well, I didn't mean to go on for this long. Um, but hey, it's catharsis. So what are you going to do? Okay, I will, Robert. Just a sec. This is what happens when you have sheeple. This is exactly what happens when you have a bunch of sheeple. Thank you, Randolph. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. For my fellow Americans, for for the citizens of the world, I assure you, America's going to get through this. And we will not take this lying down. And, you know, as much as I would like to see the Secret Service manhandle that orangutan, because you can't call him a man, out of the White House. Unfortunately, he's going to be on vacation. It's just been exhausting. I think maybe they didn't have the Capitol as protected as it should have been because they were counting on Americans being Americans. Um, and having at least some sense. But this isn't going to happen again. And I think there's going to be, again, I'm pontificating. I think they may add a law about what to do when you have a stupid fucking orangutan doing a temper tantrum because he lost the election. He did purple. But you know what? It is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional for the military to act on American soil. That's why we have the National Guard. And yes, the National Guard is perfunctorily attached with the Army, but the difference between um, the U.S. military and the National Guard is that only governors can call out the National Guard. So, yeah, Mike Pence needs to do the right thing and invoke the 25th Amendment. I don't know whether he will or not. Probably not. But I don't know. Maybe with all the pressure from citizens like you and me. Sorry, Robert, and anyone else who's not in the United States. Um, Unfortunately, you're not a citizen of the United States. But hopefully, with the cry of outrage of the citizens of the United States, hopefully Pence will exercise that power. So, and people are like, well, it's only 12 days. What harm can you do in 12 days? If you need to ask that question after what happened on Wednesday, I don't even know what to tell you. Randolph, Trump called um, Pence a coward because Pence wouldn't do what he wanted. That's basically why he called him a coward. But Mike Pence, to his credit, and this may be the only good thing I ever say about the man, but to his credit, Mike Pence said, I cannot do that. It is unconstitutional. And, you know, um, like I said, that might be the only thing I ever say nice about that guy. But uh, at any rate, Apostle Babe, not if he's in jail under a social media blackout, which is exactly where he should be, in a cage, under permanent media blackout. Bye, Floof. Um, I didn't say. I'm not necessarily giving him credit, Purple. I'm just saying, you know, he definitely was not a coward in that situation. He did his constitutional duty. So, anyway, I am gonna go. Sorry I kept you on so long, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.